Hello all, and welcome back to the Fandalorian Club, our all Star Wars review show where we are covering anything in the world of Star Wars as far as reviews go. And now we are covering the Clone Wars, and we are on to episode 6 of the final season of the Clone Wars, titled Deal, No Deal. And I am not the only one going to be doing it today. I am joined by the regular members, Mr. Brian Ablicino and Jacob Bartley. How are you gentlemen doing?
Hello there.
I don't even say anything. I
gotta start saying it in different ways now from now on.
Yeah, different languages. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring out a different language.
Hey, I should
bring out a different language.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys have not joined us before, first of all, thank you for joining us, and second of all, we basically just run through the episodes of the Clone Wars on this season of the Fandalorian Club. Our last season was focused on the Mandalorian, and we transferred it over to the Clone Wars, and we are now on episode 6, again titled Deal, No Deal, the second episode in the Ahsoka saga, not a saga.
I kind of like that.
A saga. That makes sense. And so we're moving through this season very quickly. It feels very weird that we're already on episode 6 of this season. We are at the halfway point officially. And so we're going to kind of run through some initial reactions, get into some spoilers and Easter eggs that we've seen through it, and then kind of break it down as we go along. And so let's start with our initial reaction, gentlemen. I believe I started with Jacob last week, and so I will go to Brian this week. What did you think of Deal, No Deal?
Still underwhelmed.
Okay.
Not huge fan of the arc so far. The only thing that really kept me in this episode was the fact that they went to Kessel and that we met the Pikes again. Outside of Solo, we've never met the Pikes.
The Clone Wars.
Oh, we have?
Yeah, they were in a bunch of episodes.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. So, revisited the Pikes then. Other than that, honestly, could care less. It wasn't anything special. It was just kind of almost like the same thing as last week. Like again, I've been saying the not Trace. We did this with Rafa. She's obviously going to be the one that gets him in trouble, but yeah, just kind of underwhelmed at this point.
Jacob?
I'm a little bit more optimistic than Brian about it. I enjoyed it. I feel pretty similar to last week. I enjoyed last week's episode, but not over the moon about it. I enjoyed this one a little bit more, I would say. And part of that is I love the way Ahsoka is as a person I guess she's not a person, but her personality,
She's a person.
As a character.
She's not a human.
She's a person. But they're called people. She called the people
I guess,
the spice people.
I guess a person doesn't mean human, right?
Yeah, people.
I guess. So my favorite part of this episode was when Trace walks away and Roth is standing there like looking at Ahsoka, and Ahsoka just like sits there and like looks her up and down. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, she's totally like a teenage girl just giving her attitude still, but at the same time very grown up for her age. So I just feel like cool. I get 4 more episodes or more eventually, but they'll probably focus less on Ahsoka. These are focusing only on Ahsoka as far as characters we know. But at least we just get to spend 4 episodes where she's the primary focus again. So I'm cool with that. I have a feeling it's going to ramp up a little bit because we did see Anakin in this episode, which was really cool. And I love that moment. There's moments I love. So like the moment where she looks her up and down, the moment with Anakin, and then the moment where she uses the Force to have them hand the money over. Cool moments. Overall, just I am less of a fan of Trace and Rafi after this episode. Rafa. They are... I get what they're doing. They're saying these characters are flawed or whatever, but they're kind of like just idiotic sometimes, to be honest. Just dumping all the spice. That... I understand what they were doing with it, but it's just... Would somebody really do that? That was a terrible decision.
The way she was doing it, too. She's like, not my ship.
Yeah, and I Trace was really frustrating this episode because of that. And then she's really not a pilot, and she never flown before. And the air brakes were on. I'm just like, whoa. But I don't hate it. It's just, I don't know. It's very different than I thought. I did not expect it to go down this route, but I'm just glad to see Ahsoka again.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I don't think it's not what I expected from her story during these 4 episodes. In no way was I expecting to see them put her in the back seat, both legitimately and hypothetically.
Yeah.
She very much feels like she's still in the back seat these 2 episodes, more so in this one than the last one. It very much focused on Rafa's dealings as a character and what she's all about. Trace's dealings as a character as far as her being a pilot and her very much immaturity outside of where she's from. There are moments I definitely love. The biggest things outside, the Anakin thing and the feeling each other, they knew each other, they were right there. Like, that's incredible.
That was
such
great,
a great moment.
And it's the reason they were able to get away, too.
Exactly, but it's also, there are a lot of moments in this episode that are calling back to the original trilogy. One of them is that moment, because we also have the moment of Luke and Vader feeling each other in Return of the Jedi, just as Ahsoka and Anakin did. Also, that moment where Anakin walks back to the General, and it's a shot-for-shot scene of Return of the Jedi when Vader comes back on that vessel scene.
Oh, wow.
I went and found that scene after watching it, and I was like, that looks so familiar. And it's Vader is walking down the hallway to an officer saying, who's on that ship or what's the ship or whatever. Anakin does the same exact thing in this scene as well. And then obviously the scene is when they're being hailed and Rafa and Trace are talking, rambling.
Yeah.
It's a very similar scene to when Han was rambling in the outfit.
Yeah.
In A New Hope, when he was over the comms as well. So it almost felt like one of those Mandalorian episodes where they're kind of like the Tatooine episode where they're kind of just like calling back to a bunch of things. But there's only 12 of these, and they're the only 12 left. It's not really what we were expecting to see from this. But I get it. The arc, the 4-episode arc is called Ahsoka's Walkabout. And so it makes sense what they're doing because they're kind of putting her on an adventure, right?
That's a perfect way of explaining it.
And they're putting her on this different adventure, and she has to deal with the things that she said in this episode about the Republic and how she kind of revealed how she knows who the spy or how oh my God, why did I forget their name? The Pikes, who the Pikes are, and they're wondering how she knows all this stuff. She has to keep all this a secret because she's no longer who she was before.
Exactly.
So that's kind of what it's doing, but it's just not as exciting as we were expecting it to be. But like you said, I definitely think it's going to kind of like up the ante a little bit next episode. I just wish it would have happened a little quicker.
For sure.
So
I agree. I'm waiting for that something to happen. I feel like, and
well, it seems like the way after this one ended, it's kind of going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, that was cool because they weren't near the end of whatever this mission was, and I was like, this episode's been going on for a while, and then it just ended right when I was thinking that. So,
but that's classic Clone Wars. That's what they did with the arcs beforehand. And I wish they would have done that more because the previous episode didn't do that. This one did.
Yeah.
And so
the Bad Batch didn't do that much. Maybe one of them.
Just the second one when they found Echo. That was the only one they did it.
Yeah.
So,
like the little cliffhangers that they.
Yeah, I love that about the series because it makes it the 4 episodes like one giant story.
Yeah.
To this point, it hasn't felt like one story in these 2 episodes.
Feels like a lot of time passes in between the episodes in a way, other than the one you mentioned, and then probably this one and next episodes. But I do think it's going to ramp up. I think something's going to happen where they get in even more trouble, and for some reason they have to contact Anakin or something like that. He knows she's out, still on Coruscant now, and that she's down in those areas. So I really did enjoy that part of it. I just, for some reason, and this is not fair, but I keep forgetting that she doesn't have her lightsaber with her. So I'm expecting her to pull it out at certain times, and I'm like, wait a minute, she doesn't have it. So I keep forgetting that, but that's okay. I mean, she doesn't have to have it. She used her Jedi abilities in both episodes, so that's cool. Subtly.
I was shocked that she was able to do this.
Was in secret.
Well, that and it kind of, that was the leader of the Pikes.
No, it wasn't leader.
Wasn't?
No, it
wasn't.
Are you
sure?
Leader. Yeah, it wasn't leader. If they kept the leader from the Clone Wars, it's not the leader.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might be a leader. They might have clans though. Who knows? They might have different variations of kind of like the Mandalorians do.
Yeah, because I was like, I feel like that person should be strong enough to not fall for that, a weak-minded. But it was dope seeing her do that though. Yeah,
they're slowly. We obviously know that she's going to use them eventually.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think they're gonna wait until the Siege of Mandalore episodes. Personally, they're kind of just like slowly like pushing her back into the fold a little bit.
Yeah.
And they're gonna find their way back, and then I'm wondering how things go from there once they do find their way back, and where Trace and Rafa go, because do they just go away or are they included? So I don't know. It's very up in the air at the moment as far as how it all connects to the Siege of Mandalore, or if it connects at all.
I think Rafa's gonna die, personally. I think she's gonna die, and then the sister will go off with her ship.
Interesting.
Which it was funny because to me it seemed like her ship was still broken, and then all of a sudden they just took off and was gone.
Yeah, I didn't think it was flyable.
Yeah,
I got the sense that it was not flyable.
Yeah, the way she's been fixing it and blah blah blah. She's like, I can't, like the last episode, I can't wait till I fix this up enough to blah blah blah. Like the next episode, take off. I'm like, okay, well, interesting. So
I do give them props for putting them in a situation where I have no idea how they're going to get out of it, because they're not going to have Anakin and the Jedi Order show up and save them. You can't do that. Would be stupid. Something has to happen where they get out of it somehow. I don't know how.
I completely agree. I was totally like almost in a way just out of the episode until she dumped the spice.
Yeah.
The second she dumped the spice, I was like,
well, then there was a big conflict.
Yeah, I was like,
what are they going to do now?
That's kind of, that's a move I wasn't expecting to see.
It did make the episode more interesting for sure, and it probably was good for the episode overall. But I'm just saying for the character, that was dumb.
It's funny because they were talking about, like, they kept saying, like, oh, how do you think this plan's going to work? Like, I didn't hear you guys come up with a better plan. We know Ahsoka has these abilities. It never crossed my mind that she would be able to use the Jedi ability. Or the Jedi mind trick.
I wasn't thinking about it either,
I think of her, I don't know, this entire episode before she used it, I'm not thinking of her as a Force user anymore. It's weird. Like,
I was doing the same.
This in my head.
It caught me off guard when she did it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I think someone, like, personally, when I was trying to think of how are they going to get out of this, the first person that popped in my head was Hondo. I could totally see
because he was always there.
Yeah.
See him showing up going, oh, my friends.
Do we think is he going to show up? He's got to show up,
right?
I
think so.
One more
He's got to show up. At
somehow.
Least once.
Like one episode.
Because it might be the last time ever that we see him.
Yeah, he's kind of become like one of those cult classic...
he's so good.
Characters. I mean, I haven't been there, but
Galaxy's
Edge, he's literally one of the...
Smuggler's Run, yeah.
Yeah, so... I mean, he became famous off that show. He's been in books. I would be surprised if he wasn't in it. One last little teeny.
Just a quick like, oh!
Yeah. The good thing with him, you can throw him in anywhere and it makes sense.
It would make sense at any point in time. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
He could just be there. He could already be there for all.
And we know that he's a mercenary and he works for his own abilities, and so maybe the Jedi call him, and maybe it has to do something with Mandalore. I don't know. Maybe they transport them to Mandalore. Yeah. That'd be kind of cool.
I want to see him on the Mandalorian.
That'd be dope.
Live action.
I want to see live action Hondo for sure.
Yes,
that'd be
somehow.
Sick.
They could do it.
That'd be so sick.
Yeah,
that
really
the practical
would.
effects with that would look awesome.
I mean, how...
Ooh, we got to... That's a good casting table episode.
Yes.
Ooh, that's actually a pretty good idea.
That's a good idea.
I mean, but like, how... Can you not just see, like, him getting them out of that situation? Him already being there, and that Ahsoka just being like, you've got to be kidding me.
Fast forward a week, and we are talking about Hondo.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, that's a good point, because it can't be the Republic or Anakin. I don't think they would do that. Definitely not. So either Ahsoka finds a way to get them out of it using her Force abilities somehow, or something like that happens. A random character.
It's gotta be
a perfect way to... That'd be a perfect way to bring Hondo back. Yeah.
The two people I came up across my mind, I was trying to think of like Clone Wars-esque people that like became big off that show. The other one didn't make sense to me, so I didn't think it was Cad Bane. Just because he's become so popular from it.
He works more like a bad guy.
Exactly. That's why I didn't think of it. But Hondo, I just watched Rebels and yesterday, and he was in it, and I was like, he could show up. And like how... I mean, he'd be one of those people that if he showed up, people would just be like, oh my god, this guy again. He's always in these situations. So
I gotta make a Hondo t-shirt.
And it would be cool because he annoyed Ahsoka a lot during the Clone Wars. And if he saves her, and this is like the last time we see them together, it would send their relationship off on a good note. Unless they see each other in Rebels. I don't think they do, right?
No, they see
Or
yes.
do they?
No, they don't. Because I just watched it. Things are going on, and they're both in the.
But they never
episodes,
interact. That'd be interesting.
The episodes that I think of them interacting is the Saw Gerrera episodes. when he brings all the weapons to them.
Yeah.
And it's not from the Republic, but it's from the Republic.
Yeah, see, I'm watching, I just got through, like, Ahsoka, Rex, them meeting up together, and Hondo, Ezra tricked Hondo into thinking he was Lando and stuff like that, so, yeah.
I don't think they meet up at any point. Yeah, I don't think so. I'd love to see that reunion, though, that's for sure.
It would be pretty funny. Just hearing his voice, not even seeing. I could just see it. Like, you hear his voice and she's there and just goes, "You've got to be kidding me." Like, turn around and see him. So, that was my guess.
Yeah, not a whole lot happened in the episode. Not much more we can talk about other than where we kind of see it going from here. Any ideas? Because it was, like we mentioned, it was a cliffhanger. We don't know what's happening next. It obviously is one part of a two-parter or maybe a three-parter. Any ideas as to what we see happen in the next episode?
You want to go?
Well, Brian kind of made his prediction in a way. It's really tough because it's hard to predict with the cliffhanger because you can't just go anywhere random. You have to choose specifically what happens right after that. And unless Ahsoka does some crazy force ability where she just uses the force and like sends the ships going in all different directions or something, it's got to be a rescue type situation, or they negotiate their way out of it. But I do think, I don't know, does that ship have weapons? I don't think it does. It's just a carrier.
Yeah,
I believe it's just a carrier. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a tractor beam connected to them. Honestly, I think they're gonna capture them, reel them in, and then they're gonna be held prisoner by them, and then they have to break out or get broken out. So I think that's what's probably going to happen. I see that more likely than them getting out of the situation where it left off.
You just reminded me of what we were talking about last week of Rex possibly grabbing her, and then that's how Siege of Mandalore starts with that whole team, how they meet up. But I'm still going to stick with my Hondo theory that like someone not jokey, but someone that isn't like a main character is going to come and somehow rescue them. Because how funny would that be if Hondo started saying like he made the Kessel Run and like the same thing as Han Solo.
It's a very Han Solo type episode.
Right? Like
very
I
Han
can
Solo.
absolutely see Hondo going around starting to brag that he made the Kessel Run in 11 parsecs. Something just
there was an instant that I felt like we were just going to see a slight sighting of the Millennium Falcon somewhere. I was like feeling it because they were in Kessel, they were doing all these type of things. I know it's not taking place during Solo, but we saw it in episode 3, a quick cameo. I just felt like it may have been in the background or something. I was kind of hoping for it, but doesn't happen. So.
Yeah, who knows?
I got the feeling that this episode took place right before the Battle of Coruscant in episode 3. I felt like those ships loading up with carriers was them going to the atmosphere and that battle actually happening.
Oh, wow.
And so that's where I think Anakin was, and maybe they get on their Jedi fighters and they go find Palpatine at some point. But I feel like next episode or the episode after, we're going to find out that this is all happening during Revenge of the Sith. And so it'll be someone random. I don't think it'll be Rex, because I think it wouldn't make sense for Rex to leave what's going on with that war at this point anyway, to go save Ahsoka, in my opinion. Him being sent off to Mandalore makes a little bit more sense, depending on how they do it. So I think Hondo fits the mold a little bit more. Or like Jacob's, just them doing it themselves in some capacity. Because we know Ahsoka's done it in the past, right? She's been captured plenty of times before, and she's done it in the past, and so they can easily find out a way. But the question is, at what cost? Because I do think at some point, either both of them or at least Trace will more than likely find out that she has these abilities and that she is a Jedi.
I'm
just sitting there.
They should know already because she did it right in front of them.
It's just sitting there waiting for them to kind of like be like, "Oh, she's a Jedi."
Yeah,
and they dislike Jedi, so that'll be interesting.
I will say this though: I didn't realize this until this episode. The previous episode when she said that her brother trained her, I had no idea she was talking about Anakin.
Oh, really?
Oh,
until she said Skywalker Academy.
Yeah, I figured.
It just like it
because she's not gonna. Like she can looks at him like a big brother.
My heart
is
like breaks. Like,
yeah.
Oh, like I said, I've been rewatching Rebels, and like I just went through the scene where they pass each other, and she has that flashback and then passes out. I'm like, whoa, God, I forgot.
Well, that's the last episode of season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. When she finds out who Vader is.
Yeah. Dude. Rebels is... I forgot that show. Sorry, tangent.
We're talking Clone Wars.
Yeah, but I think I could see... I have a feeling for that Powers reveal, something's going to happen
where
Rafa dies, and she's like... She sees that Ahsoka has the Jedi powers and says, like, you need to protect my sister or get her out of here or something. And
it would be very interesting if they did a callback to when Saw Gerrera's sister died, and instead of dropping her, she saves her. And she righted that wrong. Because remember, she had Saw Gerrera's sister, but then she got hit and she dropped her.
Yeah.
If she had Rafa, but she actually picked up Rafa and saved her for Trace.
Yeah, because Rafa has...
That would be cool.
It'd be kind of like a cool little story, full circle.
Rafa has made it very clear she does not trust her. So I have a feeling she's going to do something, maybe while Rafa's dying, that she's going to gain that trust and protect Trace.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
No, I hope it picks up next episode. Same. I think it will, though.
I think it will, too. Now that they've been caught and... stuck in a tractor beam. Something's going to happen.
Hope so. We only have 6 left.
Yeah. They're not going to just walk out of this, hopefully.
And being in quarantine makes it feel like it goes by that much faster.
Yeah. You got to make the Pikes.
Well, Pikes are they're like some bad mother effers.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They're not going to just walk out of the Pikes. Like, you got to keep that Kessel is a dangerous place. The Pikes are dangerous. So that's why I have a feeling 3 and possibly some of 4 will pick up big time.
Crossing fingers.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, there it is. The Fandalorian Club for this week, covering episode 6. Deal, no deal. Not deal or no deal, but deal, no deal. We are in the midst of the Clone Wars, and we only have 6 episodes left. And so if you've only joined us on this one, make sure you go back to our previous 5 and check out our reviews on those ones as well. Those are up on not just YouTube, but podcast platforms as well. Anchor, Apple, Spotify, Google. You guys can find us just by searching the show name or Apocaflix Movies. Make sure you guys leave some comments down below on what you think of the episode and where it's going to go. Likes, shares, all that good stuff. We really, really appreciate it. And as always, for the Fandalorian Club, that is Jacob. That is Brian. I am Jake. We thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys next week, and may the Force be with you.